some good deep breaths flow in and out. Huge breath cycles helping to fill us up. Easy, easy release. Feel the body getting increasingly relaxed. And so from here, our intention is where we start to head. So the thought for today is giving ourselves a chance to have a respite or kind of a retreat from whatever may be going on for us in the world right now. Especially on a holiday week, sometimes it affects us, some of us differently than others. Some of us may be, joyful. It's, the best time of the year, so happy. But for many people, there's a great deal of loneliness, and it's just can be a hard time, maybe memories of people that we've lost. So our idea for today is for it to be a nice retreat, for it to be a chance to kind of get away and just be with our bodies, just be in this moment for a little while. Not stressed about all the things I still have to do, not stressed about whatever our family situation might be like, just getting to be here in this moment. And how interesting to have a retreat that is just kind of retreating into ourselves, giving ourselves a hiatus. So that's the thought of today, giving ourselves a chance to move through some muscles so that way it gets us out of our thinking and a chance to really stretch and elongate those areas. So with all that to get us started, let's begin. Our arms can stretch all the way to the back wall. Start to let shoulders wiggle to the right. Shoulders wiggle to the left. Nice chance to get into side ribs, spine, shoulders, all sorts of goodies. Good. After the next cycle, perhaps re-straighten the spine and let the right knee come into chest. Give that side a good hug. Clasp around, pull the knee in. Ankle rolls can be really nice here. Check in with that spot. Maybe we don't even recognize until this moment the need for the retreat in that area. Good. You're ready to extend leg up to sky. Grab on wherever you can comfortably reach. Pull that leg in. Hello, hamstrings. Maybe I haven't been so present with you recently. So this is a chance to return. Let's hook right heel to back left edge of fabric. Like a pigeon pose, slide the shin in. Give it a few breaths. Huge cycle flows in and out. Free out the leg, drop it down. Second knee comes in, give it a hug. Allow that ankle and hip area a chance to roll, loosening. You're ready to extend leg up to sky, let it reach. Then hook heel, left goes to back right. Slide shin in. huge breaths here. Beautiful. Free out the leg. Drop it next to the other. Let's take 5 roll-ups to wake us up a little bit. So inhale, arms are stretching that back wall. Exhale, arms lift up. So you're gonna rise up 1 vertebrae at a time, stretch over the toes, and roll all the way back down. We'll take at least 4 more. If you'd like to continue for a little while longer, as others head into the stretch after those, that's fine. Here's 3. And 2. Okay, if we're heading to the stretch, this last one, leave the spine reaching up and over, or if you'd like to continue a few more reps, go for it. Nothing wrong with that at all. Give you 2 arm positions you can anchor off of. Hands can either reach around the front end of the fabric, giving you something to grip and continue to lean forward. Or you could clasp hands around the back of the head and just let the head be nice and heavy. If you don't like either, you don't have to take them. And helping to open up the hips a little bit. Let's take it, this kind of reminds me like a frog leg. What we're doing is bending the knees out to the side, the heels slide in, and then straightening back out. The grip can be fine either way, whatever works, especially those 2 options. But let the heels slide in, knees go wide, and then straighten legs back out. Slide in, straighten back out. Let's take another 3. 2, 1, and then letting the heels slide in. See if you can walk the elbows past the front of the fabric. Clasping hands around the head, let the chin come in. It's like a curled in tortoise shape. It stretches back of neck, stretches the spine, the low back. Give it a couple of breaths. Beautiful. Release elbows. Take the feet free off the front. Let's bunch up fabric to the side that faces you away from me. From that side, your shoulder that's opening to back wall, extend that arm out. So back wall the mountains. Or that arm can circle around the back side of the head. Inhale. Exhale, release this half. And then take the second. So bunching it up to the side that faces you to me. And again, it's the shoulder that's toward that painted mountain wall. That one opens up or circles around the head. Another ginormous inhale. Exhale. So gripping back onto this fabric that's in front of us. Lock the arm straight. The hip that just got lifted, that's the leg that swings up and over. Let's place both legs to the space immediately in front of our face. So one hand takes a stop sign, push that into the fabric in front of your face. That helps you find the center. So then the other heel comes up right where your hand is. Second heel joins next to the first. They should be centered in the fabric in front of you. And let the legs start to straighten up as much as you have the flexibility for it. Push against the heels makes this less intense for the low back. So you start to relax more and more through the legs, the back, glutes. Relax through those areas makes this deeper folded in like a taco. Start to slide the bottoms of feet to touch together. The knees are opening wide, like a cobbler's pose. You get to choose how close feet slide into glutes. Take 3 more beautiful breaths. Let them flow in and out. Slow in, each breath a retreat, and out. One more in and out. Beautiful. So we're gonna transition from this toward our vampire pose. So as you start to take your feet back to the mirror side of the room, the front, you're welcome to let them stay inside if you'd like to skip a step. But then your hips will be off center, so make sure to take a moment, recenter those hips, like you're laying like a shavasana. Now, because we're in the center of the fabric, there's going to be way too much at our neck right now, so we need to take some of that down. Oftentimes, I'll sit up for a moment so I can get just enough fabric around my shoulders to cover them, taking the excess into my waist. Once you're there, step the feet in closer, lift up the hips, slide the legs long, and let's have the right foot covered in the fabric, left foot is free. I'm going to call that left foot the naked foot when we come up into this. So hands grip up high, left and right. From that grip, feet come up, press into the fabric that's right above the hands. By pressing into it, you're able to engage the core, lift upside down. Good. Okay. So closed foot comes down to the space in front of your chest first. There's a point where the toes can't go any further. That's our anchor point. So when you get to that point, good. Now the naked foot can step all the way down to the floor. Use your core to try to move slowly. Good. Sinking weight backwards takes us into splits. If the splits is super easy for you, hop your foot forward. It'll give you even more space to just sink back nice and deep. So choose your intensity. Feel how this is also that shoulder massage. Just resting your weight into that part. And very good breathing. Take 2 more breaths on this time. we're gonna try to step both feet into the little pocket and stay like a plank if you can. If we're doing okay with that, we're doing count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step right foot to floor. Sink your weight back like splits. Right foot to floor. More breaths, feel the space opening. Feel the intensity and how that invites us to return to the experience. 2 more breaths. Good. We'd like to do another 5 counts of planks. Step this foot into the little pocket. Take a hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips above shoulders. Kind of pike the toes up to sky. Maybe you stay with vampire. Maybe you roll in and out. Engaging with core. Maybe you're satisfied already and you take a Shavasana. I don't know, but you're in any pressure to stay upside down longer than you want to. Biggest thing we could ever do is listen to our body. Some of us might take a couple of breaths and then go back into the vampire. So I'll give you a little bit more playtime. Listen to what the body's asking for. That are still up, maybe take your last couple of breaths, maybe 3, 4, 5 breaths or so, eventually heading out. Those that are in Shavasana, you're listening to your body, helping you to differentiate when you're back to kind of a place that you can work with again, that natural upright plane. No rush. But when you reach the point that everything feels good, you think you can move on safely, you'll help me know just by sitting up. Again, no rush to be there, just when you're naturally ready. Taking a nice inhale, good exhale. Let's head out onto our feet, grab onto fabric, lift the hips up and out. Let's slide the fabric that's behind us under our shoulder blades, and then walk back to take out the slack. Feet go back forward under plumb line. So we're about halfway up the mat. With an inhale, the arms circle up and back. With an exhale, soft knees through center, straighten up at the top. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Good. Feel the strength of the legs getting us there. Back. Exhale forward. Take another 4. 3. And 2. Last one. Good. Beautiful. Relax back. And then even let yourself roll into a little bit more of a back bend. So head rolls back. You can choose the fabric being centered around the rib area can be nice, not too intense. You could roll a little further down to go deeper. Good. Head rises back up. Let's soften one knee, dropping it to floor directly under tongue line, and then the other. Beautiful. So from here, as we start to slide forward, you're going to let the shoulders slip through. You're gradually allowing fabric to slide down to the inside of the elbow creases. So for some of us, just leaning forward could be a nice stretch for back and the pec area. Some of us might send the hips a little bit further forward. That pulls the shoulder blades closer, opening up the chest area a little more. Could be intense for the skin, so don't feel like you're pushing anything too far. Notice how the head can just be relaxed. You can even shake it out left and right. Beautiful. One more breath in. Breathe out. Start to free out the arms. Let's come all the way back to child pose. Arms can be forward, or you can touch the back, your choice. Back up to a kneeling place. Let's grab onto fabric about as wide as shoulders, if not slightly wider. You can come up high. Puppy pose leaves hips over the knees. The rest of the body dips forward. Gotta get the heart to drop down. It's like the heart and the earth have a magnet, which can get closer and closer together. Elbows bent would be easier for shoulders, so you have that as an option if you'd like to do it. Beautiful. Start to sit the hips down to the heels. Rolling the spine even further back, this gets us into a quad stretch. A little bit of a back bend as well if you'd like to rock the head back. Good. Let's head up to camel's pose, so hips lift up and use arm strength to pull us up through the center. Good, back to puppy. Heart dips down. Sit the hips to heels, and then continue to roll the spine back. Lifting hips, arm strength up to camel. One more time, puppy. Child. Continue to roll the spine back. Lift hips, arm strength up to camel. Good. And then sitting the hips back nice and easy. Let the upper body just sway left and right. Beautiful. Rolling spine back up. We're allowing right foot to step up to top of mat. Tuck the back toes. Lifting up that knee. Push the back heel back into calf stretch. So not too much effort in the hands, it's mostly just for balance. And then straightening front leg, do let the back heel drop to the floor. So if you need to shorten stance, that's okay. And then allow upper body to lean forward, pyramid pose. Bend the front knee to help the spine rise. We're going to switch where our feet are. So step the left one forward, the right one about that equal spot backward. Get to the point where you can have the heel a little lifted so we can push the heel back into calf stretch. And the heel drops to floor. If you need to shorten stance, great. 2 straight legs. Start to reach forward. Beautiful inhale. Nice exhale. Spine rises up. Allow the feet to step together. Shake out the hands. Good. Okay. So arms are back to soft grip. Nothing more than just helping us balance. This one's really wide like a ballet foot. We're going to have our left foot in front. Our right foot is planted behind at a kind of a crossed angle. And then what we're gonna do is like a nice ballet kick. That right leg is gonna kick up to that right angle and then come back to that start spot. Good. Let's try to go for 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch the legs out. A breath. Take an inhale. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Back up to stand. Take the fabric across hip bones, not the guts. I usually step forward so I can start to sink my weight. Definitely taking the slack out of the fabric and then bending the waist down, drop the fingers to the floor. Breathe, good, steps back, take the under plumb line. So you can play here, but I'll suggest trying out standing split if you'd like to today. So you would wrap right foot around the right pole. Wrap through the outside, not the inside. The other one can either be floating if you try to grab it, grab onto ankle, or the other foot can be on the floor. You're trying to take a standing split, walking hands and feet closer together. So this is one of those playtime moments. So basically I'll leave it up to you how long to stay here, but try to get both right and left sides more or less equal time for the stretch if you're doing the splits. There's other things you'd like to play with as well. Normal hip hang or letting the spine kind of swing left and right. You can play with those as well. No pressure to be upside down super long, those that are ready to come out, but I'll give you time, those that want to be upside down a little longer. If you're coming out, you're allowing yourself slowly to roll the head up and just come to this nice supported stargaze. It looks like we have the majority heading out. So if you're not heading out, make sure you're balancing left and right side and then start to work your way out. Sometimes in Stargazer, I'll bend my right knee, let my right elbow lean to the right. And then bend my left knee, lean to the left. That can be nice for creating space in that hip area. Staying here until your head says, I would be safe to stand again. I'm not dizzy. I don't have earfulness. I'm doing good. When you reach that point, walk yourself backwards and free yourself out of fabric. Okay, let's take fabric in front of us. Giving fabric a big hug. Circle the hands around once. Twice is usually where I'm happy. You could do more. Higher grip is harder. You'll have to lift up higher to it. Lower grip closer to shoulders or head is easier. We're starting off 3 levels of this. So if it gets to be too much, just bump it down a level. But level 1, we're turning our toes to face 45-degree angle to this side. Right leg does a windmill, circling up and over, and then left leg return, goes to that side as well. Good. And then reverse, so left leg, right. Let's go twice more like that. Right, left, and left, right, and right, left. Once more, return. Good. That's level 1. You can always just keep on doing that one. Level 2 is bent knee. So right bent knee, left bent. Right, left bent knee, right bent. So let's try 2 more each of those. Good. Level 3 would be just like what we just did, but straight legs trying to windmill around. Right, left. Left, right. Good. That's it. Good, maybe 2 more if you're doing okay. Keep breathing. Amazing. Woo. You guys are awesome. I'm not going to hands and shake for a moment. Get our heart going, right? So let's slide the fabric together. Let's start right foot into the center. Hands bump up. Try to minimize rocking as we come to stand inside. That means we need to use arms, core, and leg strength. Minimal rocking. Our right shoulder is going to bump forward so we can place our back on the right strand. We're going to start facing this left strand. Left foot comes up about halfway. And our goal is going to be to inch our way so that glutes and feet are about a 90-degree angle tight shape. Good. My little hint, you can be on the tailbone, but if you slip it over to the glute instead, it makes this much more comfortable. Okay. So from here, top foot should be left, drops down to the left. Okay. Your shoulders go to mirror side. You're going to go even past the left shoulder, but then left hand winds around to reach high. Good. Lean back like a straight line. And then this free hand can grab the 3 toes. Front stretch. That's okay. If you head out, just come back in. Okay. Grip up high. Left foot steps in. Bring the shoulders back in. Right foot's gonna switch to be on top. Maybe you switch to the other glute that you were on. And there's a moment here where we can catch our breath, maybe try to balance, no use of hands at all. Yeah, if you step out, that's okay. Take a breath and then step back in. That's okay. Okay, when we're ready to switch, grab on for safety first, and then right foot drops to right side. The right shoulder leans to the left, and then winds around the fabric to grip. And then as you lean back like a straight line, free hand grabs free toes. Good work. Good, coming back inside. We're going to inch our way into a cross-leg position. So maybe right shin crosses first. And then as the left foot comes closer, use the hands to help you slide into a cross-leg seated position. You can use hands if the balance is not there, but maybe one or both hands can free out. Some days it just doesn't work, and that's okay. I can see there. We're gonna slowly head out. Go ahead and grab on whichever side for safety. Squeeze the legs out. Good work. So grab on about as wide as the hips. Let the upper body go forward, nice and easy. You can let the wiggles happen left and right, just like inches to each side. This can help loosen up any tightness that might have happened on that massage to sacrum. Soften the knees, roll the head up. Let's slip the right ankle into fabric. You can either slide hands down, easy version of hamstring stretch, or slide hands up, split forward. Yeah, make sure you're kind of close to plumb line, otherwise it feels like the journey's way farther than it actually is. Good. Slowing, easing. Weight comes over standing leg. We're gripping both hands onto left side, turning our standing toes to left. And from here, with this left side, left hand slides up, right hand slides down. An open chest. This could be enough for your body, or you could sink further forward to side splits. Much slower and gentler. Notice how the breath is already starting to calm. Sometimes we have to get into hard things that take us out of our struggles. Takes us right back to this present moment. How's my body doing? How can I be with my body wherever it's at? Good. Weight comes back over standing leg. Grip one hand on each side. Turn the toes back forward. Let this right knee bend out to the side, the heel comes in. I'm gonna grip close to shoulder height as I sink my weight forward. Know that there's different options. So the option I'm doing is letting my head go through. So this is more like a sleeping pigeon. You could also take more of a back bend, just sliding the hands up and taking that back bend as you drop the hips forward. So different options based on what muscle groups you're trying to stretch. Beautiful. Take the weight back. Re-straighten this leg. Sliding the hands up. Let's try out swinging switch. Left foot steps in, right foot steps out. That's okay. So all that happened is bent knee instead of straight leg. So good. Okay, so this one's the splits forward or just sliding hands down to lean forward. If you're doing splits, I recommend grip high just in case you fall out of balance. High grip makes it so much safer. So remember, this note, flexed foot tends to get us into calf rather than point. Okay. So chest back up, grabbing onto right side, turn your toes to the right. Right hand goes up, left hand goes down. Maybe you stay right here over the leg. Maybe your body wants to sink a little bit further forward. Inhale, exhale, weight comes back, grip one hand on each side, toes turn forward. Now bend the knee, foot comes in. So your choice, maybe you're going high because you know you want to take a back bend. Maybe you're going more like shoulder height, head through, and then leaning your hips forward like a sleeping pigeon. Another good inhale. Nice exhale. Weight over standing leg. Straighten the leg. If you'd like to practice another swinging switch just to try it out, remember, leave the leg straight as you step right foot in and left foot out. Got it, that's it. Okay, go ahead and take yourself all the way out though. Okay, we're gonna head into, this one's almost like a restorative inversion, so I love this one. I'll show you once we're inside, but let's head inside. So come up to the mirror side top and grab the front of your fabric, leave it out. Facing forward, hook thumbs, take about 5 grips of fabric into your hands. We want to be about the center. And come under plumb line, slide into sit. And then I'll show you, because it's likely that I'll probably have to step out and help a couple of people. So when you're coming into this, and again, just watch first, what we're going to do is slide our feet close in, kind of like when we were doing the sliding in and out, only I'm also stepping into the fabric so I can have some fabric free over my hips. So once I've got this, I go through and grip the outside of the fabric. I'm trying to lift my hips up, and it's going to be most restful if I can kind of send a little bit of my weight forward. Otherwise, it feels like a struggle to try to just stay here. So hips kind of go forward a little bit. From here, the back side of my fabric needs to be like a vampire pose. So I have to grab onto it, place it over a shoulder, and then I regrip on for safety. Second side, over a shoulder, regrip on for safety. And then when I'm ready to dive down, I take both hands, keep it wrapped over my shoulder. I start to bend forward, and then I'm here. I've got a hip opener. I've got a nice shoulder massage. This is super, super restorative, just very comfortable for me. Heading out is as easy as just curling back in to flip out. Okay, so go ahead and take your legs in. Come to that weird frog thing, heels close, but you have that excess over your shins. Okay, grip through the outside, left and right. Grip the whole thing. Good. And then lift your hips up and send them kind of forward so it's a little more restful. Good. Once you're there, it's just one hand at a time. One hand grabs the fabric behind you, takes it over one shoulder, kind of like a vampire, and then grip back on for safety. And then second hand grabs the other half, grip on for safety. And then when you've got both over your shoulders, if you're nervous at all, I can come check you, but you just grab on and then start to lean forward. That's okay, go ahead and recenter yourself. Take your time to make sure it feels right. It is easier to be in the hip section when you're in the center. Okay, so if anybody wants me to check before you go forward, just let me know. Yep, you look great. Just grab left and right, keep it wrapped over your shoulder and dive forward. Sometimes it's hard to just get into the, holding long enough to get it covered. So you don't have to do anything with this. Closer here. That's it. Keep it wrapped over your shoulders. I know, I'm like, oh my God. You're there, you're there. Yep, just all the way. That's it. Grab left and right. That's it. And you're safe. Just keep it wrapped over this and you're good. Do you want me to help you?
Well, I can't seem to get myself.
Just forward and up. Sometimes hips can be a struggle. You look great. You're in here. Yeah. You hold one hand and you're done. Grab. Just keep it over your shoulders and you're safe. If you're nervous, like you're done. Yeah. You just weren't quite centered, but that's okay. You can kind of just yeah. Oh wow, that's it. I know it's like a nervous moment, but you got it. Everyone has to. Okay, I think it's just probably your feet just stick together. Yeah, you're super close though. Three. Very close. You can get her out. You got it already? Okay, so you got it. Yeah, just get it more centered. Yeah. Good. Oh yeah. That makes sense. Good. Got it here. Thank you. Our little baby is yep. Pull it tight up so that we pull it. You got it. Good. Wrap over shoulders. That's it. Got it. Oh. There we go. Yeah. Just rest. That's okay. Just take a different inversion. Nothing is ever wrong with just taking a different one. This one is kind of funky for hips, so sometimes it takes the body a little bit of getting used to it. But you can tell this is one I could stay in for a while. Like this one's really good once you're there. So this is kind of our last inversion. So you can stay several minutes if you want to, if this is feeling amazing. You could come out whenever you're ready. If there's last stretches you need also, you can take a moment to do those last stretches. But ultimately, we're getting into those last couple of minutes, heading toward Shavasana eventually. natural for some of us to want to stay inverted just a little longer or stay in good stretches. That's okay. As we've got several people heading into Shavasana, I'll give this little bit of guidance for Shavasana when you get there, but don't feel like you have to immediately get there if you just want to relax. So imagine each breath that flows in and out is simply an invitation to return. So anything at all that still feels scattered, return. So this can be the level of our to-do list, those kinds of things distracting us, return to this moment. This could be kind of visualizing our aura. Maybe your aura feels scattered and it feels like it's like 10 feet away from us. Return it. Bring it right back to an inch just surrounding us. Or maybe there's other visualizations, just returning to the breath, trying to see how many breaths you can be present with. Maybe you even count them. You get to 10 breaths present, or do we lose track of it before we get to 10 each time? So no pressure, choose whatever works for you, but use it to help us try to return, staying present, staying relaxed, just breathing here for the next couple of minutes together. into deepen inhales, deepen exhales. Introduce little movements back to body. Some of us may start to stretch the arms to the back, allowing shoulders to wiggle right and left. Some of us might take a fetal position to one side, rolling one hip on top of the other hip, body stays long. From there, you can curl in like a tight ball and arc the spine back. Doing fetal, take it maybe 2 or 3 times to one side before you switch, 2 or 3 times to the other. Don't rush it all. Keep on taking your time, returning back to presence, back to this time, this space. But when you feel like you've more or less returned, you're here, you're present, start to make your way back up to a comfortable seated place. Join hands together in front of heart. Connecting back to this idea of giving ourselves permission to have a retreat. Even if it's nothing more than a mental reprieve, nothing more than for the next hour, I'm going to be with my body, I'm going to be with my breath. I'm going to try to do self-care more. So remembering to include these kinds of things in our day, almost not giving ourselves permission to skip that kind of stuff. But that kind of reprieve, that kind of hiatus to lead us on, that kind of love. Let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.
Namaste.